After watching Casa versus Google Antigravity coding a full stack app, I discovered something I did not know about each of these AI coding tools. If you're looking for the best comparison between Google Antigravity versus Casa, this video will show you how these two IDEs compare in coding. I gave each a prompt to build a complete full stack app, and I rated each based on the speed and the code quality. They both delivered reasonably good builds, but one was better than the other. Watch this video until the end to see the results and find out which was the better AI coding editor. But before we get started, if you're new here, my name is Joe. I create videos about AI models and AI coding tools on a daily basis. You can find me here and on Medium. My current goal here on YouTube is to get to 10k subscribers. You can help me in that journey by hitting that subscribe button to help us keep going. Now let's get started with Casa versus Google Antigravity coding comparison. In this video, we are going to be comparing Casa 2.0 versus Google Antigravity coding comparison. If you checked out my previous video, I compared the features of both of these AI coding IDEs, but now let's see how each of these codes and which one codes better than the other. To make this comparison fair, we have Google Antigravity opened and Casa opened side by side. We're going to be using the same model to make it easier for us to find out which code's better and which workflow is better. The project structure is straightforward. We have this Google Antigravity build empty folder. Then we have this Casa build empty folder. And we have our test prompt here. We will use this test prompt on Google Antigravity and on Casa, and we're going to be using the same model. This is going to give us a fair comparison between Google Antigravity versus Casa coding to see which workflow works better. To use the same model on Casa, if you remember my previous comparison video, we'll have to choose a model. And I would like to go with Gemini 3 Pro on Casa as well as Gemini 3 Pro on Google Antigravity. This is going to give us a fair comparison between the two. If you're using Casa, the free version, you're not going to have access to this Google Gemini 3 Pro since it's locked behind a paywall. You can only use Auto, as you saw in my previous introduction to Casa 2.0 tutorial. Upgrading Casa is a straightforward process. You simply click on this gear icon, then go to Casa settings. Then you can see these options available here. You can click on the upgrade button. It's going to open up the Casa website where you can choose the option you would like. In my case, I just upgraded to the $20 monthly plan. After the payment, you're going to be redirected back to Casa, and you can see now we have the Pro version. Once that is done, we are now ready to compare Casa 2.0 to Google Antigravity IDE. We have exactly the same prompt, and we're going to use the same model across the two IDEs. The prompt is simple: building an inventory management system, a full stack app. This is the Antigravity agent layout, and this is Casa agent tab. This is where we have the input box for the prompt, and for Antigravity, we'll go with the planning mode because that's what handles complex tasks. And for Casa, we can go with the planning mode, but it's better we just go with the agent mode because the agent mode in Casa plans and executes the build. So we're going to go here with the agent mode. For the model, for Casa, we'll go with Gemini 3 Pro, and for Antigravity, we'll go with Gemini 3 Pro High version. So both have the same prompt and the same model. Let's see what happens. Casa begins by planning the app. You can see the agent building up the app and the to-do list. For Google Antigravity, it's the same. It's still building and going through the thought process, but since Casa is running fast, it's ready to create the folder. So I'm just going to click on run. It creates the folder for the project. While Antigravity on this side, it's now creating the task list. So it's slightly behind Casa. Casa has this task list that it's going to implement step by step, while Antigravity has completed on this other side, building up the implementation plan. So I'm supposed to just accept the implementation plan, then the plan will get executed by Google Antigravity. It seems both are working in a similar pattern and at the same speed. I'm just going to click proceed so that Google Antigravity begins implementing the plan. Well, on this side, we can see Casa is still creating more folders and setting up the project structure. Casa is faster, of course, because it's slightly ahead of Google Antigravity. It's already building up the requirements.txt file for the Python backend, while Google Antigravity is implementing the plan. After about 2 to 3 minutes of this process, Google Antigravity can't keep up with Casa's speed. Casa seems to be getting everything right, and it's too fast for Google Antigravity. You can see it has produced nearly all the files. On Google Antigravity, it's still stuck on this step of implementing. At this point, I would like to just switch to the low Gemini 3 model, then prompt it again. I like to stop it first, then restart it. It gives it the edge it needs to get started again and move fast. On the Casa's side, we are almost now starting to run the project. So I'm just going to click on run. Then I can close all the files because I'm going to accept them all at once. Casa is now installing dependencies. Here, Google Antigravity has started now building up the project, and the task list has nothing checked. So it's so much behind since Casa is now installing the dependencies so that it can begin running the app. In terms of speed, Casa beats Google Antigravity. The next thing is going to be about the quality of the build. Casa is now about to complete the project before Google Antigravity gets all the files created. You can see it's now going through the last step of checking out the files that have been created, and then move back to Google Antigravity. Here on Google Antigravity, the process is also going on well, and if you can look at the task list, we are almost at the front-end development. We are slightly behind, but so far so good. We can see we've built the backend, we've added the test data, and after we complete this, it's going to be a comparison of Google Antigravity complete build and Casa complete build. Casa has obviously completed the build before Google Antigravity, and this is the final notes that Casa shares with us. It began by creating the project structure, then implementing the backend CRUD and endpoints, implementing the backend data seeding, from the front end documentation. For Google Antigravity, this is the task list. We began with the project setup, creating a virtual environment, initializing the database, then backend development, all these tasks, then front-end development, all these tasks. And we are currently now in the verification stage. So it means both have completed this project. We would like to see how does Casa 2.0 versus Antigravity testing work and which is better. I have given both the same prompt. Can you open the browser and test the project frontend and backend? Back to Casa, you can see the browser tab inside is open here. It opens the app inside the built-in browser. This is the current app that Casa built. You can see it's running different browser actions. Casa is already testing. It's creating a product, add a product. You can see the testing process. The product has been created successfully. It's now opening up. It clicked on add product. You can follow the testing process. This is something I like about Casa. As much as the browser is within the IDE, where the one for Google Antigravity is an independent, it's Chrome based. For this one, you can see it right inside your IDE, and you can also follow through what's happening. And as it performs these browser actions, let's get back to Google Antigravity. Antigravity has now opened the browser and it has begun testing. You can see it uses the Chrome browser, while Casa uses the built-in browser feature. It's creating the products, it's clicking the products list on the sidebar, then it clicks on add product, just like Casa did. It's now filling the product, test product 001, the name of the product, test product, then it picks the category, the unit, the price, then it saves the product. It closes that pop-up. It now clicks on transactions. And as this is going on, as it's testing this transaction, let's check out what's happening with Casa. Casa has had an elaborate testing, and it has tested and completed the entire test and given us the test results. You can follow through these test results by clicking each of them to see the different kind of actions that happened in the test. It has very elaborate test results that you can follow through to see if your app is working. Back to Google Antigravity. It's now creating the transactions, and we can go on and on testing and improving this app. But at least up to this point, you get the idea on how Google Antigravity versus Casa compares. And now in the final build, this is what Google Antigravity has built, the complete inventory system. You can see it with that dashboard. While for Casa, this is what it came up with. I would like to put them side by side so that you can see the comparison of the final build for Casa versus Google Antigravity. From the outlook, they look the same and have similar functionality, and they are functional inventory systems app. I hope this points you in the right direction on which is better for coding between Google Antigravity and Casa. If you found this video useful, please do not forget to like and subscribe. One like, one subscribe gives me one more step forward to bringing you great content. Thank you, and I appreciate.